Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends. And welcome to this, a brand new day. Yes, indeed. And it's very chill. It was very cold when I went out for walkies last night. And it is cold this morning. Ooh, it hasn't been raining. It's mostly, it was a little bit dampish last night, periodically. But it's been dryish. So maybe it's gonna, I don't know, it might snow. Who knows? But it's not sunny, it's diffuse light outside, but it's chill. It's going to be a day. Definitely a good thing. It's good to be a day. Definitely a thumbs up on that. I slept, and that was a good thing. I didn't do a whole lot of stuff yesterday. Spent a fair amount of time trying to do things, and then wanted to take a shower, and then was unable to because of other people, housemates, having to do their things, and so, yay! Life is life. But of course, thank you YouTube and the algorithms front-loading the video. If you could toss me a like if you like what you hear and see, that would be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel if you haven't, that too would be very awesome. If you could leave me a comment, I love comments. I read every single one that I get. I thumbs up each one that I do, which again is all of them. And I answer just as many as my executive dysfunction will allow. I sometimes have to come back after a day. Yay! But I do my best. And of course, I do want to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and awesome people are literally beautiful and awesome. They literally help to keep me alive. Eating food, well, when I can. It's a good thing, and I do appreciate it. Thank you very much, each and every one of these literally beautiful and awesome people. Definitely a thumbs up if you'd like to become a literally beautiful and awesome person. And then wherever the show more is for the video description, there are links to my Patreon. Thumbs up for that. Yay, front-loading a video over. Anyway, though. So yeah, yesterday I didn't do a whole lot. I did my vlogging in the morning, I watched some video stuff, I had an issue with trying to stay awake again and fell asleep for a while. But again, even though I am falling asleep, I wish I wasn't, but there you go. At least it's not a gluten sleep. When I wake up, I'm okay. And when I fall asleep because I've eaten gluten, oh boy, it's like I've had a stroke. I can't think clearly for a very long time because brain fog, you get that if you have gluten intolerance. Yay. So at least I don't have that. Even though I fell asleep, it took a little while to wake up, but once I was awake, I was doing fine. And that was good. And then I played some games, I watched a lot of videos, and again, I went walkies early so I could try and take a shower when I got back, and my housemates were doing their wash. Is the various things that happened all day. So, hey, it happens when you live with people. Not their fault, not my fault, just is one of those things you have to work around. Thumbs up for that. So, yay. Got all that done. And then, as stated, went walkies, came back, relaxed, watched some stuff, got really tired really fast and went to bed early for me, and then mostly slept until just around 5 o'clock, and then up at 5:30 because wide awake and hurt and uncomfortable. And then I did this morning. Dusting and cleaning this out, putting this stuff away for now. A lot of it's just a temporary put away. Some of it is it's a permanent put away. But I've got stuffed animals and such put up here, and I only realized just before recording that all this stuff really should have gone up on these shelves so the stuff could be seen. You know, I'll get there. It's gonna happen, just not yet. Yay, a good thing. It is good. It is a good thing. And little Ghost is still doing well, wandering around. And Amelia Kitty is still being good. She's wandering around and doing things. As stated, she's not mega active anymore. She doesn't go outside any longer. She doesn't sit in the windowsill anymore. She stays down here and around, away from the window, such like that. So who knows if that'll stay true in the summertime. I don't know. But she is getting older. I'm getting older. And yay, we're all getting older. But it's okay. I mean, we live in a physical universe. Thumbs up for that. Now, though, I do want to talk about all sorts of stuff. I mean, I watch videos and there's stuff I want to talk about that. But this one is the one thing I've seen, because I watch some movie reaction channels, and I watch some music reaction channels. I mean, some people react real well. Some people don't. They just basically, if they're watching a movie, they laugh periodically. I mean, those people I'll watch once, and then that's fine. There are the other people that are talking and laughing constantly and making points of, oh, this, that, and the other. Those people are fun to watch. Same thing with music. There's a couple of music reactors where it's like, oh yeah, and then when they're done, it's, hey, make a suggestion, thank you for watching, and they're done. Ugh, sorry about that. Failure of vocal cords right in the middle of talking, and they're done. So, yay. Those people I don't watch often. But one of the things that I've been noticing on because I go to the home page and then I twist up through these list of recommendations on YouTube stuff, recommendations to see what they've got, and a lot of people reacting to the movie Scream, and the Scream franchise have been coming up. I hate that movie, the first one. I hate the rest of the series. I've only watched part of the first one, the very beginning, and I and the director have he's dead now, but I and the director had very different ideas about what they should be doing, and everyone has lauded this thing as being such a great horror movie. When I first watched it, I thought it was great in the beginning. I thought it was awesome. I thought this was going to be good. But then the longer it went on, it was like they're actually taking this seriously, because it was funny. It was a funny build-up with funny stuff, and it should have been funny. Instead, it was a funny premise and a funny setup, and they took it seriously, and I just could not watch it. It was ridiculous to my head. Now, obviously, since it made money, it's a good movie and a good franchise. But that sort of flick, I mean, it had so much potential to me, and it was all just flushed straight down the toilet. So I don't like seeing the recommendations for it come up, but life is life. I mean, what are you going to do? Still, though, it is what it is. Some of the reactions that are starting to be better are more people are beginning to react to the original Police Squad TV series, but from back in like the early 80s. Because everyone seems to have forgotten that. Everyone was reacting to all the movies that Leslie Nielsen was in and not doing the series that the actual jokes were coming from. And seeing people react to this old TV show is very, very cool. Because remember, if you've never heard of it, after the movie Airplane and such, they went on to do this series on TV for ABC. It was canceled after 4 episodes. They played the last 2, so 6 played in total. But it was canceled not because it wasn't doing well, because the TV show was doing well, but it was canceled because you had to listen to it because it was smart, and you had to watch because there were jokes always happening. So you couldn't just turn it on and then walk away. And so the executives at ABC said, people aren't going to like this. You have to actually watch it. You have to pay attention. You have to be smart. And so they canceled it. And that's great. Still though, life is life, a good thing. But to make a quick jump back to the whole King and Crimson and Razor's Edge and Inside Outside and all these sorts of things, I do want to talk about that. I've been going on a very generalized sort of approach again when I go out walkies. I'm not hitting and chewing on just any one subject. I'm bouncing off a whole bunch of stuff and then just reinforcing, remembering, reminding, and then just as soon as I work with one bit, I finish chewing it and then I'm done. I mean, part of the things that I work on is like a generalized map of the whole Razor's Edge area, because even though in contemporary times in the story there's no major stability, because everything is just a transition point, at some point in the future it is going to be exceptionally stable in the Razor's Edge. And so I can halfway visualize what the map is going to be in the future so as to work on what things are making that occur geography-wise in the present time, if that makes any sense, and hopefully it does. But all with this sort of thing, again, with the King and Crimson, I want to just really, I am jumping from subject to subject this morning, totally unorganized. I took my medications and I feel like I haven't. Time has slowed down, but my thoughts are like 1,000 ping pong balls in a wind tunnel. My sincere apologies. I have been trying for a very long time to visualize the King and Crimson. Only very, very recently have I realized the way that my creativity works, which is, plant the seeds, give it a push, and then follow. With a lot of the appearance of the King and Crimson, I have been trying to, there's my destination, and then guide it in that way to get it to where I want it to go. And that has not been working. I have not been able to visualize the King and Crimson in the slightest, other than the fact that they have this porcelain type mask, they wear red velvet gloves, and they have red leather boots. Past that, I have been struggling to visualize. Finally realizing all this about my creativity, I've been backing off a bit on trying to push it and just think about where it's trying to go. And I think I'm getting closer, where it's still a humanoid. Of course, it's a humanoid form. They have a humanoid form. But it's still very variable. They go between like 5'7" and 6'5", I think. I'm still chewing on all of this, and we're going to see where it goes. But from right now, I've decided to take a different approach, and maybe that's going to get me somewhere. Here's hoping. And then, of course, I had mentioned gal Adeah yesterday, a couple days now. She's just a regular person who, when she was a kid, with her friends, went into a dungeon type thing, that just one of those random percolations in a house. It happens. They found the whole bunch of little treasures, and then they got scared off when they found a dead guy. And gal took the person's sword, which wouldn't have protected them. It was a piston trap that smashed the upper part of their body nearly flat. So she took the sword, and when they left, they were trying to just calm down from that stuff on the equivalent of television in the Crimson Kingdom, talking about a couple kids had been eaten by a beast across town. All the kids left, and gal decided from that point she was going to be training. Life is dangerous. She wants to be more prepared. She treats it, I'm a young child who's this is my hobby, until she was about 15, at which point she started really training hard. Now, everyone, if you use a weapon on the inside the razor's edge, you'd be foolish if you didn't have weaponry if you leave the confines of the city. Everyone has, if you leave and such like that, a close quarters melee weapon, a long-ranged explosive weapon, and then you carry a knife for really close quarters. And so she's been training and training and training, and the sword she has is a bit of very bizarre advanced tech, which of course, again, did not save this person. But it works as a regular sword, but there's some indents and thumb things on it, so if you make the press on that, it becomes hard to move, like there's a gyroscope inside of it, physically that way. You can even let go and it will stay in the air. It is, when you're using it without that happening, storing up kinetic type energy. And then when you hit those triggers and you swing it, it's hard. You have to really pivot and move and put your whole body into it to make it move. But when it moves, oh my God, it moves. So it is hard to get moving. And when it moves, it has a lot of stored up kinetic energy. And generally when this thing hits, which again is hard, it's slow, you have to plan your actions on this. And that's hard to do in the middle of stuff, but it will generally, when it does hit at melee speeds, it imparts the same impact as if a fully jacked up semi-auto truck carrying 2 trailers filled with lead slams into you at like 150 miles an hour. There's a lot of kinetic energy. You don't tend to survive something like that if it hits you. unless you're really, really tough. Just as well, you can set it in place, do that whole so it's sitting there, and if something runs into it, it's as if everything is equivalent. You running into something is the equivalent of it running into you. So if this thing is hanging there with the stored kinetic energy and you're swinging and you hit it, well, it's the equivalent of your weapon being smacked by all that. It tends to granulate and fire backwards in your direction at the same speed and velocity and all that as if someone had taken a shotgun and fired it into your face from 2 feet away. You tend not to make that mistake a second time because you're not in the realm of the living right now. So it's hard to use, but it is an exceptionally dangerous weapon. Thumbs up for that. And of course, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I am an American English speaker, and even though I count American Sign Language, well, with my mind, and you've seen the way that works, I do the best I can. My memory is getting better. It's going to hit a limit one day, and I'm getting close, but it's not there yet. We have Quan IXX, thumbs up and thank you. Confused Owl 29, greatly appreciated. And Dad, Tom Scott, I'm subscribed, he's great. And yeah, life on the Razor's Edge is precarious, but the people that live there are basically descendants of thrill seekers. They're adrenaline junkies, every single one of them. Life is life. And then there's Tom Canham, thumbs up and thank you. Ian Hamilton, greatly appreciated. Conspo Lopez, hey, Tom Scott is awesome. Then we have Honor, thumbs up and thank you. And one day, hopefully I will be doing that. Ben B, absolutely, it's a good idea. If you want to risk making friends of a meat-eating squirrel. Kapaki, thumbs up and thank you very, very much. Flora Mew, a lot of good things to think about again, and I want to talk about them as well. We have Jay, greatly appreciated, and your comments are deep as well. I've been thinking about things on that too. And then Ice Damon, greatly appreciated, each and every one of you. Did I do that right? Did I do 10 and then 11? I honestly can't remember, but thank you, each and every one of you. You get me out of my head and into the world, dealing with real people. Thank you so very, very much. It is appreciated to no end. Today, I have to call the hospital for my ER visit back in January. I got the paperwork so that I could apply for charity care for my bill. I haven't even looked at my bill because I know it's terrifying. With my ADHD combined with my depression, combined with my executive dysfunction from being an autistic person with no support, yesterday I remembered I haven't even opened up the paperwork yet. So I need to call them up and say, I am not ignoring you, please don't send this to collections, I need help. So hopefully I'm going to get that done, if nothing else. Yay. I'm also hopefully going to get some reactions recorded. I want to do some gaming stuff. In no way, shape, or form is there a demand for my material online. I understand that. I do these things for me, not so much for everyone else, although thank you very much for coming along with me on this journey of exploration. If nobody out there watched, my doing it would be pointless. So no, if I do it for everybody else and myself at the same time, mostly for me, because again, no huge demand for my material out there, but the fact that anyone watches it all is awesome, and thank you so very much. It is greatly appreciated, each and every one of you beautiful people. And of course, with my hands in the air, don't know what device you're watching this on, so I don't know where the show more for the video is, but inside of it there are links to all my various channels. Very cool if you could check those out, as well as links to my Patreon. I said that wrong. My Twitter, my Facebook, my Patreon. See how ingrained I am and how much that I need. Yay! And again, I would like to thank each and every one of these beautiful and awesome people that are in fact beautiful and awesome. They are literally helping to keep me alive, and I do appreciate that to no end. I am still sinking underneath the surface of financial ruin and destruction and death, but I'm sinking slower than I would be because of these people. My wrists are sore. I forgot to look and see how long I should be keeping them up and when I should put them down. Yay! Hopefully I didn't do it too bad. If you'd like to help me out without sending Without becoming a patron, I do have a PayPal link, and I am hurting very bad. If you can help, it would be good. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money at all, there is that Amazon wishlist link with cat food on it. If you could help out there, that too would be very, very cool. Now, of course, do not feel obligated. I don't feel entitled, and if you can't or don't donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart, where I draw interest. So thank you very much. And if you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. And of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very cool. Did I do all this already? No. And I already did the talking about the stuff that I gotta do today. Hopefully I haven't done it twice. Maybe I have. Hard to say. That's where my brain is. I am confused this morning. Yay! I am 1,000 ping pong balls in a wind tunnel today. Still, with the Covfefe bug raging, with 2,000 or 3,000 American citizens dying every single day, please, this is not over by far. Try not to be around the unvaxxed, unmasked, mouth-breathing plague rats. That is hard to say clearly and quickly. If you don't have to, please don't. But if you do, of course, maintain your social distancing. Wear a mask of some kind. Wash your hands often. Try not to touch your face. Get vaxxed if you haven't. Get a booster if you can. Hokey smokes. Don't be one of those 2,000 to 3,000 dying daily. Please. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And quite frankly, I think that's a very good idea.